God damn, motherfucker. Well, Killer B goddamn boxing promotions. This shit crazy, yo. This shit crazy. Yo, I'm opening up my boy, yo. But goddamn, nigga. Goddamn. So Negi bust his gun. Now Siberius firing back and shit. This shit getting crazy, yo. But yo, I some real shit. I just watched. So I only caught the tail end of Siberius scream. Negi's is laughing and shit. Like, what's shocking, and I know it's shocking to everybody that Negi in attack mode and shit. Like, I only see Negi like flip out like one time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, all the TK members know Negi just like, you know what I mean, lay back and chill. Like, Negi don't start the human boy situations and shit like that. But goddamn. So I guess Siberius went fucking ate shit. I haven't watched the whole fucking video, but like I said, I just caught the tail end. And when I came in, he was like threatening Negi to beat him up and all types of stuff. Like, but like I said, y'all could go to the video and watch me in the chat. Like, I'm just like, well, goddamn. I'm like, y'all could just talk about the goddamn information. Like, you know what I'm saying? But let's see what Negi has said. I didn't know this shit was going on. Somebody hit me up. He was like, yo, what the fuck going on? I was like, yo, what the fuck you talking about, nigga? He's like, yo, those niggas up on the fucking shit going at it. I was like, word? I was like, shit. Because I was trying to do some schoolwork and shit. And a little bit of chatting and stuff. Well, goddamn. Hillbilly bullies, yo, you stupid. I got to talk to you. Hit me up on Facebook. I got to talk to your ass and shit. You know I'm gonna get your ass too. I gotta talk to you. So I've been trying to find you. I hit one of your accounts because I know you be changing your name and shit. I don't got time to do all that goddamn searching and whatnot. But yo, this shit crazy, yo. This shit mad crazy. But I don't know. Negi like nigga big mad and shit. But I was like, damn. Negi's like, yo, I ain't call that nigga nothing he not. What's crazy is the character that Negi got for his avatar. So like you hear what Negi like say, and you just look at that picture and shit. That shit be hilarious, like because it's like big ass Siberius and shit cutting down the goddamn trees like Paul Bunyan, and then you got little Nejiba, Sensei Nejiba and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? If y'all don't know who Negi Springfield, like the manga character, y'all can look him up and stuff. But it's pretty like it's hilarious and shit. This is hilarious. But I like to say this. I want them to get together and go over the information. That's what I want to see. Cause I said all that, like, well, I go to your house and smack the shit out of you, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, there's no need for all that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like deal with the information. Like, just deal with the information. Because the people want to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we had the Siberius Rob Rack fight, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what it was. It was for a fight. It wasn't no debate shit. And we were doing a pro-show fight, and we was going to help some people, some needy people, with all the proceeds, whatever we get from it. And once they ducked and ran. Rob Rack ducked and ran and shit. So, like, that shit crazy. Oh, Bill Hill, I know what I wanted to ask you about and shit. Hit me up after the stream. I'm only gonna be out here a few minutes. But this shit is nuts, yo. So I don't know if any of them want to come up on here. I don't want to hear no old crazy shit. I don't want to hear all that shit. They can't lie. Siberia's going nuts. You see no goddamn trees I cut down, motherfucker? Talking about going to Negi and shit, smacking the shit out of Negi and all types of shit. But goddamn, that shit crazy, yo. This shit crazy. I think Negi's about to come. But that shit crazy. Like, motherfuckers like, why are you laughing? I'm like, yo, this shit crazy as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to hear the information. Cause like, you know what I'm saying? What Negi accused him of Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know too much about either side. Like, I know a little something or whatever, but I stick to what the fuck I know and what the fuck I'm doing and shit. Like, right? So I'll probe people here and there, like to get some shit for something that I'm looking for, and I take it for whatever it's worth. Then I use it and do whatever fuck I want with it, right? But I don't know. Negi says that Siberius, the things that Siberius teaches, he got. If I'm correct, I gotta let Negi say this shit because I don't want to say the wrong thing or get the wrong understanding of it. But it has to do with EA Koetting. That the same thing EO Koetting wasn't, I guess, taught or whatever, or was involved with. It's the same style or whatever. But you know, people can learn things from other people. There's nothing wrong with that. But Negi is, I believe, is hitting the shit at another angle. So this could be this could be the motherfucking, I don't want to say a debate and shit, but I might turn this as Killing Bee debate league. But I think this would be good. Because Siberius got his thing going on. Negi got his shit going on. I think it'll be good. It'd be good for everybody to see. And Negi coming from a cult approach, right? He coming from a cult approach. Now, what Negi know with that, you know what I'm saying? Both got scripts. You know, like when you playing like a what you call it, like a video game or something, and you got the character and you got all the attributes of the character, and then you gotta like level the motherfuckers up. Oh, let me drop the link. And you gotta level those motherfuckers up. You know what I'm saying? You can have the little motherfucker like the elf. Say like Dungeons and Dragons. You got the big ogre or whatever, and then you got the elf. You know what I'm saying? In certain situations, the ogre will fuck up the elf, but in certain situations, the elf will fuck that ogre up. Like, you know what I mean? So I think this is one of these cases. Like, they're two different types of. I don't even want to say that. Hold on, drop the link. Let me hit up Siberius too. Maybe he come out here. But Siberius, I want to don't come out here with all that yelling and talking about, oh, I get all the women and all that shit. Now, we're not talking. We're just talking about the goddamn information and shit. This shit crazy. Let me hit up him. I only gonna be on here a few minutes and shit. All right, here you go. What up, nigga? You in here? Oh, he probably is. I ain't clicked the thing yet. Hold on. Oh, there you go. All right.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. What up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I caught the tail end of it.
Good.
I think you had already left when I came in the room. And when I came on, I didn't go on the stream. I was just on the chat.
Yeah. What he was doing is he was slandering me. I only know about it because Bill Hill sent me a text asking me what was up, and I had to tell him that it was because of what I said, and I didn't say anything too serious, but the reaction that what I said got is completely out of proportion with what I said. Yeah. Like he was calling me, and this doesn't bother me on some level, but on some level it does kind of bother me. He called me a retard. He called me your token retard. Yeah, he said I went from being Judah Nazar's token white boy to being Killer Bee's token retard, and
that's far from the truth.
I don't quite like that because I just said that he was teaching black magic, which is something that I don't rock with. I don't like black magic.
Right. And I
didn't say anything. Yeah. I kept it to that level. I didn't go personal.
Right. And that's the issue I had with it. And that's what I was saying in the chat. Like I was like, yo, all the like the personal stuff is like, you know what I mean? I said the viewers and the people want to see the information. You know what I'm saying? Like
Because
like,
and you know what, I briefly talked to this guy, but you know, when he was doing his live stream, but all he had to say was that he gets all kinds of women and money and
right.
bragging, like, you know, like he reminds me of you know who. It's like,
Yeah, I hear what you say. And that's what I said. I'm like, don't go that route because it don't look good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stick with the information. Like you were saying, like the stuff that he was saying, like on the channel or what he talks about is like right out of the EA Koetting like type of thing. Now, like I said, I don't really know a lot about neither. Like, know what I'm saying? So I want to hear the information. And I'm like, everybody's shocked how, like, know what I mean? Like, he said he drew first blood. I'm like, well, Negi did bust his gun and shit. Negi did bust his gun, and we shocked at that. I know Bill Hill shocked at that shit. And I know a whole bunch of other motherfuckers shocked. Like, because you know, you was never the one to start some shit. Like, you might tag along with the beef. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got the fight. You got the motherfuckers fighting. And Negi over there on the side, like, yeah, he fucked that motherfucker up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, now Negi stepping up and shit to the front of the line and shit and pulled out the hammer and shit out motherfuckers and shit. Like, yo, Pop, I'm legging anybody that move.
well, the funny thing is, if Siberius wasn't espousing what he's espousing, I wouldn't have an issue. I would let him go pretty much for anything, but the fact that he's been sitting on this channel espousing those ideas that lead to, you know, just bad things, in my opinion. You know, black magic and Satanism go together, and they do horrible things in people. They make people worse people.
Yeah, this shit crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it shouldn't have got like on a personal level. Like the whole, from what I haven't watched the whole thing. I don't know if he dealt with the information or
no. He just said that I was your pet retard, and that you know, pretty much, yeah. The reason he's right is because I sit on the internet all day and look up, you know, just things. He said that was his refutation. He thinks because I know how to read about things that I'm somehow wrong.
Yeah, that's like just if I'm not mistaken, there's a lot of people that deal with the code have a problem with like people that learn from books and stuff like that. Rather than I guess like on a personal level with somebody, a mentor or whatever you would call it. But yeah, I'm looking at the thing now. It was in the video like 20 minutes. So I didn't look at the whole thing and stuff. I just thought it was distasteful and stuff. I could understand him being mad. I could totally understand that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like with battle. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you going at something like with us, like how TK worked out. Like, we would do all that type of bullshit. But like, it's an information topic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could do the information and then throw a little of that other shit in with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm fucking up Judah Nazareth, yeah, Judah Nazareth gay, right? But I'll tie that in with the topic because he teach that according to the Torah that you're not supposed to be gay or you're not supposed to eat pork and all that. They stand on that. So that's what they stand on. So when I approach that and say all that stuff, I'm saying it, showing that how they're a hypocrite because they're supposed to stand on it because they'll condemn somebody else for doing it. But then when the camera off and his dumbass wife put the shit up on the internet, what's going on in their house, you know what I'm saying? That's totally different. That's tied right in with the same shit. I'm like, you telling everybody this, how they're going to die, they're going to get brick showers, but now we see what's going on in your house, motherfucker. So, like, you can tie that shit in. but Negi having Asperger's or Negi this or whatever, living with his parents or whatever. Like, know what I'm saying? That don't really
that's what he brought up too. He somehow thought that was a good debunking strategy.
Yeah, I don't even know where he got that shit from. But anyway, I don't even know who you live with. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody know who you live with or if you live with anybody. But that's none of our business and shit. But that shit crazy though. That shit was crazy. So like, yeah, I would like to get a discussion and shit. I think a lot of people gonna want to see this. A lot of people gonna want to see this shit. And you know, people that not interested in the topic, they're gonna be interested in how Negi or Siberius handle each other under this situation. Like, because it's crazy. Like, I'm just sitting back, like, well, goddamn, I'm laughing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see where you coming from. I understand how Siberius can be upset about it. I understand, like, both, like, right? But
he's in the back thing. He wants to come on.
All right,
I think he is. Yeah, you see him?
Yeah. Just don't come out here and talk about I get all this pussy and all that shit. Just talk about the goddamn situation. All right.
What is your definition of black magic?
That's pretty simple. It's all that there is no good and evil, ideology I've heard you spout. That's simple.
No, good and evil are subjective. Good and evil exist along a spectrum that you believe. Does that make sense? I didn't say that good and evil does not exist.
And that type of thing is exactly what kind of people like Koetting teach, and it's what allows them to do what they do.
But it's true. It's very rough and very scary, but it's true. And the perfect example is a house spider in the corner of your room is nothing to you, but to a fly, that spider is that fly's doom. There is the spectrum. That exists. You cannot argue that. Black magic is nothing but magic where you take matters into your own hands. Okay? White magic is where you ask.
And that's
like praying, for example, was white magic.
That's not right.
Yes, it is, Negi.
That's absolutely not right, though. That's absolutely wrong.
That is what I just said is absolutely factual.
All right, so let's hear.
I'm saying it's wrong in terms of it's wrong, like bad, evil.
Well, how was taking matters into your own hand wrong?
That is evil.
How? Explain that.
I mean, this is the thing. This is what you get with people who espouse this kind of stuff. You get like this kind of rhetoric. This is where you get, this is where it goes.
No, explain. No, don't change the subject. Explain how it's evil. You can't.
I guess it depends on what we're talking. I guess no. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I guess it depends on what we're talking about in terms of taking matters into your own hands. Well, are you talking about cursing people? Are you talking about cursing people to die?
No, that is in itself evil. Why would you do that? But if you wanted to make more money, there's nothing wrong with making more money. Whenever I make more money, I take better care of my daughter. How is that evil?
I want to
see, and the reason I went personal with you, Negi, is because you selling the name Siberius, the Sleeping Serpent, on a public channel affects me personally in ways that you have no idea of because you really don't know me. That's why I went personal, because you're bad-mouthing my brand that affects me personally. You not understand that? And now I'm here and I'm talking about the information and you cannot answer the questions. Do you see why I'm upset?
I've heard all this before. It really just sounds like Church of Satan type of stuff, and that's stuff I don't respect.
Have you ever heard me talk about worshiping Satan?
No, this is Church of Satan type rhetoric.
Hang on, hold up. No, No.
He did.
Okay.
He did say it was like last night. He did say something like that. But I want to back it up a little bit. I think it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Negi. I think what he's saying is like with the black magic not having any rules. They're saying like it's all right to be good or bad at the same time, or to be bad or to do something bad. That's how a cult leader will use those principles or whatever to get away with whatever he's trying to get away with. Like for example, like this saying the thing, oh, you gotta have good and evil. Good and evil have to be together. So a cult leader will go to the people with that and say like, oh, I'm cursing this motherfucker's kids to die. I'm cursing this motherfucker's family to die. Oh, and they're like, and the followers will be like, wait a minute, like, that's evil. That's not, well, the Most High made good and evil. The Most High controls good and evil. Satan, like I played it last night. I think I played that clip from Judah where it's saying, well, you know, the motherfuckers listen to Satan's ear and they be like, well, whatever. But they don't know that Satan works for God and Satan only does what God tells him to do. So if I curse your family to die, that means God is okay with it. Or the good side is okay with it, with that behavior or something like that.
Look, okay. Back to the good and evil.
Hey, I don't know. Is that I just that's what I got.
I got you. Let me share some occult knowledge. The good and evil on the spectrum thing. Okay, that I see that's what we're struggling with. However, Killer B, you've heard me say my motto before. The righteous are divine. Knowledge is the power. Really, it's wisdom is the power. You've heard me say this. The righteous are divine. Okay. Whenever me and Leonard Elmera way back when all this first started, when me and him had a beef, did he curse me or did I curse him? No, because real occultists know when to strike and when not to strike. I wouldn't have to curse Negi. Why would I do that? See, you're talking that's evil. Now that does exist. Or like Medicine Man. Medicine Man was super smart. Even Medicine Man was in our group. Talking about cursing people and how rough that is and how diabolical that really is.
Now, what's up, Abro Shabian? You got your 2 cents?
No, I'm just listening in what's happening.
You just here to take up space. Okay, I got you.
Oh, but kind of want to know what's happening though in this conversation.
Well, how gotta put that shit? Negi says that Siberius, the things that he teach lines up with the type of things that EA Koetting. Negi, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm getting any of this shit mixed up.
No, you're getting it right. What I've heard from Siberius is basically what I've heard from people like EA Koetting. People are just selling an attractive occultism package to people who want to make it, easy to be a dark magician without actually, feeling like they're evil or, bad for it. It's like it's a weird thing, but it attracts.
Never once have I attracted someone to become an occultist themselves. I sell myself as an occultist that can do the things that people can't do.
And you don't see how that could get someone sucked in?
Okay, I kind of see that. So you're saying a real occultist should be more private with their thing, or?
Well, no, I'm saying that if someone is going to, if someone is going to put something out there, then, I mean, if you 100% believe something, go ahead, say it, but don't be surprised when people, say that, disagree with it or whatever.
Just like the situation with EA Koetting, I guess, with the dude, EA Koetting kind of helped him do the things that he did. Well, not physically, but gave him the ammo or the recipe to sacrifice those 2 women for whatever result that this kid wanted. So it could be like the information could get in the wrong hands, or like Negi would say, suck people in to think of something that might not exist in that world, might not be the views of the person, the cultist or whatever that's teaching or giving the knowledge or sharing the knowledge, but the person from the outside looking in that wants to learn or be a part of it, they might take advantage of the situation by saying, yeah, I can make you hit the lotto.
Okay, so that makes me an evil cult leader. If that makes me an evil cult leader, if that makes me an evil cult leader, then it also makes every rapper that's ever rapped about selling drugs and killing motherfuckers makes him an evil cult leader too.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
I said, we used to say that in the Hebrew Israelites, that drug dealers practice witchcraft.
Yeah, some of my biggest clients are drug dealers.
Yeah, like they'll say you get like the witchcraft is selling the drugs.
Right.
They'll say, I'm just standing here on the corner. They'll say, I'm just standing. Hold on. They'll say, I'm just standing here on the corner. I'm not making these people buy it. A lot of drug dealers are saying, well, shit, they're getting it from somebody. They're going to get it from somebody. They might as well get it from me.
I agree with that. People are not going to stop doing drugs, and people are not going to stop practicing magic. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Magic has existed as long as humans have.
Yeah. But I think with the EA Koetting situation with that guy that sacrificed or killed, I wouldn't even say sacrifice, this killed because the shit is some bullshit. Obviously, that shit didn't work. Obviously, and whatever EA Koetting is doing, obviously that shit didn't work for him. What he doing don't work for him because his shit, he all set right now. So this
is becoming a fallacy. We've gone from me being an evil nihilistic cult leader to a complete fallacy.
All right, now the whole nihilistic thing. I don't know if y'all want to chime in on that. I want some. What y'all think in the comments? 5 people up in here.
Here's what I was saying when I said that. I said that people who espouse a certain kind of like whatever you want to call that, and I call it just straight up, that's like the atheistic Satanism type thing. That is what gets people sucked in. And that stuff is like pretty bad because that stuff just makes people worse. It erodes what morality they have, and in some cases they don't have any morality.
And the little that they have, it might go out the door. For instance, when a lot of people left Torah Nights, right? There are other people waiting in line to take control of them. Whether you got Lex Vortex with the rise of the Canaanite bullshit, right? There's all the African bullshit. Then you got motherfuckers like, say, even Siberius. Siberius came on and talk about occult stuff. There's some people and shit. Well, Lex was doing it too, talking about voodoo. Lex don't know nothing about no goddamn voodoo and shit, but he pretended to be. And what it did was get people to say, yeah, I want to do this. And they start researching shit online and start trying to fuck with shit and might fuck themselves up, might just waste a bunch of time and money. You know what I'm saying? And the people, everybody got that in them to take the advantage or whatever, right? It's like, okay, you could be someone that practiced this, and now a lot of people are coming to you wanting to know. You might take advantage of that and say, hey, shit, when I was to see one motherfucker a year, now I was getting 20 motherfuckers a day. And they will use room to say, Yeah, I can make you hit the lotto. Yeah. Knowing that whatever they do, if they believe in it, because some people do this shit and don't believe in none of that shit. They just getting motherfuckers. They just scamming motherfuckers, right? So they would see the money coming in and want to take advantage of it. And they might have been cool with what they was doing. They might have kept all that shit to themselves. Like I said, they might have did it for real. They felt that they were practicing this for real. And some people practice it, know that shit bullshit, right? Now, the people that will come to them, they would feel like, oh, I mean, the person that the people are coming to, they'd be like, shit, well, I can make this, I can make that from this shit. Wow, these people are really following me. And it could change the person. And I don't think this is a situation with Mr. Nasty and shit with that. I think he just had a ill intent from the jump. But some people you might look at as having good intentions, and then it spin off into something else, something a lot darker. Like, you know what I mean? Where it turns into people manipulating people or making people think a certain way or scaring them. Well, if you don't do this or take this in, right? It's
you didn't see that, did you? You didn't see what happened?
Nah, well,
He jumped off. He's not on anymore. Yeah, the wicked flee where none pursueth, but yeah.
Well, damn, so I really had to leave. But maybe he out in the woods and shit. Maybe his shit got cut off. I'm just trying to,
but you know, it's kind of funny.
Oh no, he back. Yeah, his signal probably.
Oh, whatever.
He jumped the gun.
Yeah, whatever.
He jumped the gun. But anyway,
I just whatever. He's mad. I want him to keep it up. Come on.
Brainstorm. What's up, Brainstorm? Bill Hill. Did you hear what I said, Siberius?
No, I didn't. What'd you say?
Oh, goddamn. I gotta have to repeat that whole motherfucking shit again. Nah, I was saying how some people might have the good intention of doing, they actually walk that path or whatever, believe in that system. Some people do it and don't believe in that shit and just trying to get motherfuckers. But then there's some people that might believe in that system, and then when the people come, like say for example, they only got one person a year come to them and shit that they might help or attempt to help or pretend to help or whatever, right? Now, those people after a while might get, instead of that one a year, they might get 20 a day. And now the people are talking about that person. And now there's esteem goes up where they're like, wow, a lot of people are coming to me. I'm making this money or these people are following me. And it becomes like power. Like, you know what I'm saying? It hypes them up. Just like a motherfucker that was broke and motherfucker give him a chance, put him on the block with a pack, and all of a sudden this motherfucker making $500 a day, $1,000 a day. That motherfucker gonna change. That's not gonna be the little humble, poor, stealing cakes from the store motherfucker. He gonna have he gonna feel a whole different type of way. Just like a motherfucker that was broke, hit the lotto, he run around and tell a motherfucker to kiss his motherfucking ass. Right? So the person could have had good intentions in the beginning, and then when he gets the attention that he wasn't expecting, or he might have had it all planned to get the attention, that would change that person into doing more sinister things. So just like I wouldn't say this the case with Mr. Nasty, but some people might have good intentions and then actually starting a group or organization. But as the attention that comes with it, the praise that comes with it, the props or whatever you want to call it, that person will start to want to take control when the praise and stuff might have a potential to fall off, or or like say, all right, you getting all the just like with tour nights, right? Everybody like, yeah, Judah like teach lessons and shit, like all that stuff. Even me, I was like, yo, I don't know what the fuck he teaching, but I'm trying to find out. So I'm helping this motherfucker wherever I can, so he don't go off track and keep teaching the motherfucking lessons. But what he was doing, he saw that people were supporting him. And with that, he would start to take advantage of people. You know what I'm saying? Where he might have had that the goal from the jump. He might have not had that from the goal. But certain things are really, there's a easier chance of something going bad from the situation than sometimes things being normal or going really good. Like certain organizations, say like the Crips and the Bloods, right? That shit started to protect the neighborhoods. Look at it now. And you go to the leader, they don't want to hear that shit. Shut the fuck up. They might send somebody to kill your ass. But you telling the truth about it. Or somebody like, gangs ain't the way to go. You need to get out the gang. And then all the gang members, I want to kill that motherfucker. And guess what? The cult leader, the gang member, the big homie, the gang leader will know that, no, this is really how the organization started. To protect the community, right? To look out for the community, to stop crime and all that shit in the community. But the members don't know that. And guess what? The leader is not going to tell them that. The leader is going to go along with it because the people under him are bringing in all this money. They bringing in their attention. They giving them the women. They sending the women to them and all this stuff. So they're going to allow those things to happen. But there's certain ways of doing things or certain systems or well, we dealing with kind of like a religion thing, but there's certain, or spirituality, whatever the fuck you want to call it. There's certain things have a real easy recipe. Say like the recipe calls for this, and that, right? Now, if you put this in it, that shit might change some totally different shit. Look, like you got baking soda, right? You got baking soda and water, right? And some heat, right? You can sit that on the pot all motherfucking day. Drop a little cocaine in that motherfucker. It's going to start fizzing, and that shit going to turn into something else. Totally something else. So there's some things that could start good or have the good foundation that with just a little tweak could easily turn that whole thing sour. Just like what I think this is in the scriptures or whatever, how a fly falling in your wine ruined the whole motherfucking thing.
It's called a little leaven the whole lump.
There you go. There you go. You got it. You got it. What's up, no Frank? So I think I don't know. Negi can stop me. I'm just ranting right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to understand like Negi's side of the thing. Like I said, the topic I don't really know that much about. I know a little something. I can tell motherfuckers what I know or what I think I know. And usually I'll say, well, I think this or I know this. Like, you know what I mean? So like it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, y'all can have like a discussion on the thing. But I think Negi is being protective. And there's nothing wrong with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I can understand you being like pissed off and all that shit. But that's why I say, and like the stream you did, like from what I heard from the tail end from it, I didn't watch the whole thing. I only caught like the last like 3-4 minutes of that motherfucker. So like the reaction of it don't look good. Like that's why I was saying, yo, this keep that shit like with the information. You know what I'm saying? And things could work out. Negi could get an understanding of where you coming from, and you can understand where Negi coming from. And if y'all don't like it at the end, y'all can be like, yo, fuck you, or whatever. Y'all can go, y'all motherfucker way.
I brought the information when I jumped on here, and Negi hasn't given me one clear answer. So
I don't know, Negi. You want to say?
I think it's done, Negi. Next time you want to speak about me, make sure you know exactly what it is you're talking about. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Peace.
Yeah. All right. Whatever. I'm just waiting. I'm just gonna give it a minute.
Okay. Oh, you getting all your stuff together? I know it's early in the morning too. Fucking shit. I'm waiting for him to. I'm waiting for him to go. I don't need to be interrupted. Oh, okay. All right. However, whatever make you comfortable doing what you're doing. I know, like sometimes
I have people working for me, so I've got all day. I'll just sit on here, Negi.
No, I see where Negi come from. Sometimes, like, you know what I'm saying, like being put on the spot, you can't get everything out the way you want to say it, like at that moment. I do the same shit too. So
you brought me to the light, Negi, and then I asked you questions you can't answer them.
This is why I didn't start talking, because
you can't answer the question. Because
I'm waiting
you don't
for
know
you to
what
go.
You're
That's
talking
what
about,
I'm waiting for you to leave.
I'm waiting for you to leave.
All right, so we can let Negi get this thing out and stuff. Now I'll let you back in. I can put you in the back or whatever until Negi get all this stuff out. All right, there you go. All right, Negi.
So yeah, that's why I had to wait a little bit. All right, so from what I've heard, I don't really think I was wrong. I don't really feel like anything I said is out of order.
Okay.
He hasn't proven to me that he doesn't teach black magic in the style of atheistic Satanism. So there's no way he can show that unless he can show that he actually believes in spiritual forces or things of that nature as real things and not products of his imagination or archetypes or like I said, the Church of Satan teaches. So this guy has nothing.
Okay.
He hasn't refuted anything, and he's only brought, just pure emotion.
So I don't know. Elaborate a little bit more on it. I kind of get what you're saying.
What that type of ideology teaches is so basic that when you boil it down to its essentials, you really wonder, is that it? And really, that's it. Because these people don't believe in God, spirits, or anything. They think it's like just all in their head. So when they're calling on these beings, they're doing it as a kind of psychodrama or play pretend. But what's bad is when that play pretend causes people to think, in messed up ways. Like some people can actually become schizophrenic through mind games. Like when they, have you ever heard of a tulpa?
No, not at all.
It's a thought form that a person can create by focusing really hard on the idea of creating an entity. So you can actually create dangerous entities with your mind. And all those black magicians, the way they do it, all the things they try to, incorporate into their practice, it creates these evil entities. Like it doesn't matter if they think they're real. They actually create these things.
Oh, I look back in. Wait, hold on. I'll let you back in, but I hit the button by mistake. All right, go ahead, Negi.
So even if we're dealing with just what they think is imaginary, it can be very dangerous because it can influence the way they think. Like, for example, in the tulpa that I mentioned, a person can actually lose control of this thought form. And it can basically, make them crazy.
And you have said that to me. And for those of y'all don't know, like Negi has been in this area or this path like before, like with the whole Thelema and like, you know what I'm saying, right? If I just want to say it right, I don't want to be talking.
Yeah, this is basically something that I know very well. But when you confront someone like I'm doing right now, they usually will try to take away any claim to knowledge that you may have. Like when I left, who, he made it to where that no one believed that I knew any foreign languages and basically didn't even speak English. So I see the same kind of tactic being used here. It's just he's trying to denigrate me in the eyes of the audience.
Okay. So yeah, so it's not like you're just somebody from the outside looking in or
No, I know what I'm talking about, and
yeah.
You know, the fact that he wants you to believe that I don't is almost a manipulative tactic in and of itself.
Yep. So yeah, a lot of people don't know that Negi knew, but we all knew about it in the TK thing and stuff. But Negi stopped dealing with it when he came in Torah Nights and stuff. You know, and I didn't find out about it until I went doing digging. I was digging on motherfuckers and shit. But then I found out or whatever. So Negi has told me this numerous times that don't fuck with that shit. Said that shit'll make you crazy. And I've heard from other people that, yeah, this shit'll make you crazy. And other occultists say, yeah, this shit'll make you crazy. If you don't fucking, it shit'll make you fucking loopy or whatever.
Just so you know, he's going nuts in the back chat. He's like,
I didn't see him in the back
he's
chat.
Flipping out because he thinks that I'm wrong about what I'm saying when I'm pretty much right according to many other people except him.
Okay. So when we let him on, say what he got to say.
Yeah, sure. I'm done. I just didn't want to be interrupted. That's all. But you can bring it back on. Let's hear some more of this.
Yep, I'll let him on, then let you back or whatever, however it goes. All right, go ahead.
Put Negi in the back. We got to do this fair.
Negi, all right, go ahead. All right, Negi in the back.
All right,
Negi, I'll let you back on as soon as you done.
All right.
I ain't got too much time, but go ahead, yo. Go.
Number one, he keeps talking about me being a Satanist, black magic. First of all, he couldn't answer what black magic was. I told you what black magic is. It's where you take metaphysical, you take matters into your own hands by metaphysical means, okay? And talking about being evil, this and that. If you look at the 11 commandments of classical LaVeyan Satanism, I mean, I can go through them all, but they basically say, don't fucking hurt nobody. Don't disrespect nobody unless you are being hurt or disrespected. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you are right. Magic can make you go crazy. Absolutely. You've heard me say several times. And also, Killer B, I have to disagree with you talking about how you understand him whenever I've shown you many receipts, and I've had several episodes on your channel where I describe different metaphysical properties. I've gone over this with you many times. Mm-hmm. Okay. Secondly, yes, you can go crazy. Like me, for example, you see how I haven't been on YouTube, and I've been in the gym and working on being a father and working on my business. Because, yes, you can get too deep. But one thing, we all know that I've come from a very powerful, not only shaman, but also root doctor Blackbird Shatterack. And one of the lessons when I first started to learn what I call the dark arts is that you have to build up your heart, which includes your mind. You have to become strong internally in order to handle the different energies that we experience. And for him to say that I think it's that he thinks that I think that this is all just a part of my own psyche. Killer B, how many receipts have I shown you? How many videos have I done? You know this isn't true. Yes, a lot of it is your own psyche, but a lot of it is not. Okay. And we can argue about this and that, but for example, like the Kokopelli spirits, fertility spirits, how do they exist? Not only in numerous cultures, but also that were separated by vast geological differences, but also vast distances of time, where those different cultures never communicated. Okay, so for him to keep trying to come up with different ways to make it seem like I'm some evil dude that shouldn't be. I've never heard of this person. That never I lost my point of thought. What the fuck is he talking about? Dog's blood. That's pretty funny, actually.
It's a troll right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a troll. I've never. That's pretty funny. I lost my damn train of thought. But anyways, do you see what I'm saying, Killer B?
Uh-huh.
How many receipts? How many times have I gone over this over and over and over and over? And now I'm some nihilistic psychobabble fucking evil person.
Go ahead. I'm just typing.
Oh, I'm done. I mean, I think that's it right there. I think everything I just said, just sort of kind of this point. I don't know. He keeps saying, "Oh, black magic is bad. It's bad for people."
Well, I like to say too, like I've told you too, like my whole way of looking at it, whether you agree with it or not, I think that a lot of this shit is all in your head, though. Like that's why I say the thing about the goddamn can of Pepsi.
Well,
Like you can make a can of Pepsi.
What was one of the first things I told you when you started this?
What?
To believe in yourself first.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Does that not, now, Killer B, does that not tie up to me knowing what the hell I'm talking about? Y'all are saying that now that, because trust me, I can tell you as an occultist, not everything is you. That is not true. Absolutely not. But I told you that from the get-go, Killer B. To believe in yourself first, to work. And
yeah, of course.
Okay. All
That's
right.
why I said where a can of Pepsi can do the same thing as anybody saying, "Oh, I'm going with this spirit or this demon or whatever the fuck." Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think any of the motherfuckers exist. I think it's all like a fragment of your imagination or something that's in your mind that you could create that will turn, like Negi was saying, that could turn real, not physically real, but real in your head to like fuck your head all up and shit.
That's not an egregore. That's also being called being weak-minded, and you shouldn't be practicing magic if you're susceptible to that. One thing that I can tell you, I mean, even the last job I did with the pictures, do you not remember the black cat, Killer B? Do you think that I took oil and painted a black cat on the ground like that?
No, well, that's okay. Like we can't really confirm all of that though.
Was that a coincidence?
No, it was cool seeing it, but like that's something that you could actually confirm.
Well, magic is nothing but the aspects of the universe that are immeasurable. I can never confirm it because I can't measure it.
Because it's almost like looking at a shadow in your room when you're a little kid and thinking it's a monster. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like things could your mind. And I've talked about this too on my show on a different topic. Actually, Shamiam me and Shamiam did that video. Remember when Booger Bear was showing the mountains and saying that
with the giants and all that. And then I use science and logic to disprove that, okay, how is any of this possible? When I said these giants, if they were like 40 meters, 200 meters, their bones would crush under the weight of gravity.
But I put the pictures on the screen, and nobody can sit here and say that shit don't look like a giant or like a giant laying down.
What about the mundane? What about the mundane receipts that I sent you? Like whenever that girl paid me for that love magic.
But that can't be confirmed either, though. Like,
yeah, but the confirmation is that her lover. But the confirmation is that her lover was begging at her door within 24 hours the next day.
Yeah, you gotta understand though that you can't confirm that. Like to the people, like I can make text messages and stuff too. So that's something that like we can't really use. Like you can't use that in a court of law. Like the police itself would have to get those receipts, or the prosecutor would actually have a summons.
So now you're saying that my text messages so now you're saying that I fabricated not only the ritual that I
I
did
didn't
that
say
night,
you
but I
did.
fabricated the text
But
message the next day.
I didn't say you did, but to the viewers and the people watching, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? You can't always use that. This like
Yeah,
you can't always use it having a witness.
This is
Somebody,
your platform.
hold on. Somebody could come on the show and say, "Yeah, Killer B, helped me, did something, and I won the goddamn lotto." Right? The people that want to believe it know me or something like that, but I could have had anybody up on it. That's the same thing like what Brother Polite did, right? He showed the police arresting him. And motherfuckers believe that shit. But I showed on the video, I said, look at this guy. Brainstorm was there, and she's an ex-police officer. I said, look at that holster. There's no firearm in that holster. And they went to the police station, and they did the flyers and the whole thing. That's something that can't, like, we have to get, like, concrete, like, type of things. This, like, for example, the picture of the Indian, right? That could be a double exposure. Not saying you did that, but that happens. It's called double exposure. So, like, but back to what I was saying,
make everything I'm putting in a pile.
The shit, I lost. I went off track. Well, oh shit, Negi. Oh, Negi, we're back in the thing. Oh, Dot's door up in here. I want to hear her 2 cents on it. Negi, come back up in here. Because I know Negi wanted to talk to her too. Wait, what? I keep hitting the fucking button. I put they go to the link. Y'all come up in here. I want to hear her 2 cents on it. All right, Negi's back up in here. I forgot all the calling.
So yeah, not much else to say. I just I still stand by.
Go ahead, Negi. Oh, I gotta put him in the back. Oh, forgot. All right, there you go.
This thing's not even working. Yeah, this is. I might have to get on my laptop. This is just not going to work. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
I might have to get on my laptop. It's just doing what it does, or what it started doing recently. I don't know why it does this, but
okay.
I'm on Wi-Fi. I shouldn't do this.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, sometimes that shit happens. Sometimes my computer was doing that too.
Yeah, like, I'm on my phone right now, so I'm gonna have to get on my actual computer. Okay. So I'm gonna do that, but I stand by what I said. All the same, and someone who's involved in something isn't gonna hear criticism of it. Yeah. They're just gonna hear what they want to hear, which is they're gonna think the other person is doing something like slandering or whatnot. And I'm not. Yeah. I'm not slandering. I'm just opposed to something. And I don't hold my tongue when I feel like I need to. I talk.
Yeah. Like, for example, right? There's a Botanica that opened like near me. And I met the woman, right? And she spoke English. But when I went back, like a couple weeks later, the owner of the place was there. She spoke English, and the girl that was there acted like she didn't speak English. Like she was translating to her. Like I would ask her something, then she would say something to her in Spanish or whatever and stuff. She would nod like she didn't know English. And the things I would ask them, they weren't. It was like, oh, well, we could do this. We could find out this. And it was like setting the stage. You know what I'm saying? Because this stuff goes way back. A lot of the, like this so-called occult stuff, there's people, I guess, that really practice it, like say like the people in Haiti or whatever, right? That's something that a religion that's been going on for quite a long time. It's different from the voodoo that's in Africa. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Like they have like Lawaz and stuff in the Americas that they don't have in Africa. Same thing with Palo. The way Palo is supposed to be like a Bakongo, like spiritual system, but the way they did it in Africa is totally different than what they use now, right?
Yeah, that's very true. I'm gonna get on my computer. I'm just gonna jump off here and then I'll hit the link again. So,
all right. Doff's Door. So this whole thing, Negi says that Siberius, the things that Siberius talk about, comes on the channel, teaches or whatever, is similar to what E.A. Koetting teaches. And I still don't got it all clear and stuff like Negi's like approach to. I do, but I don't, because I'm not knowledgeable in this type of stuff like that much. I know little something, but he's basically saying that the idea of that spiritual path can create issues where a person can become a cult leader and do bad things or put people in bad situations, whether it's like a mental situation or a physical situation. Just like we were just talking about, like, these motherfuckers that try to kill your motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? This over dumb ass shit. Like, well, I don't believe in you anymore. Well, I'll kill you, bitch. I'll curse you to die, you son of a bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure a lot of EA followers and stuff, these motherfuckers is killing cats and everything else they got in the house. Roaches.
Yo, can you let it back on?
Oh.
Thank you.
Who, Negi? The Survivor. Oh, Siberius back up here.
Yeah, me, man.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, that shit crazy.
Yeah, but what you're saying is that I'm taking this information and becoming a cult leader and doing bad things, and that's just not true. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, like in a nutshell, sort of.
Right, but how many times have I told you that what I do is very lonely?
Yeah, you're right. All right, Negi's back. Hold on. Let's let Negi say his thing. All right.
I really don't have a lot to say. I just, sometimes I just have to say things, and if people don't like them, it's the same thing with my channel. If they don't like something I make a video about, they can hit that unsubscribe button as fast as they hit that subscribe button.
That's true. That's true. I say that shit all the time too.
They can hit the thumbs down too. There's a free world out there that people can, make choices.
Dafdor, she's left the EA Koetting group and stuff. I hope she come up on here. Shit, what time is it? Okay, I got a little bit more time. So what? I don't know if you heard exactly what Negi was saying. About this whole thing, it could turn you crazy. It could be harmful to people. Now, do you think, Negi, that the black magic thing is all? Do you think it can work for anybody, or because you know how you tied it in with the cult thing? It's, you know what I'm saying? Like a person can practice something or whatever. And never have contact with anybody else. Because you know how you got the lone person that's in their crib. They don't like back in the 80s or something when you didn't have the internet. Like they wasn't people congregating or actually, say it might just be some kid that been listening to Iron Maiden and death metal and all types of shit. And they got into this stuff. They might have got the Satanic Bible from somewhere from the goddamn bookstore. And it started from there. And that's about all they know. You know what I'm saying? They take little bits and pieces from wherever they can and develop their own thing.
The danger is also to the individual themselves. Like what happens is a person can legitimately hurt other people without even having to create a quote unquote cult. What they can do is they can make it to where that if they people get sucked further and further into dark and evil things. So what happens is it'll never be enough for them. They'll always need something else to give them that rush, that whole, euphoria. So what that is that's the entities that these kind of practices attract. that's encouraging they're encouraging the person to go deeper in, and they could even, you know, start killing people. That is actually where it can lead.
Okay, so now you holding it down to like I'm getting where you going at now. So the thing can lead or get people to it's dangerous by shit. I lost what I was trying to say. Goddamn.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous even if we're talking about a single person, because it can cause that person to lose all sense of morality to the point where they would actually kill somebody or go out and start killing people.
Right. So that's where you saying with the black magic and with the negative thing, seeing good as evil and evil is good, basically, that could lead to that where this person is saying, oh, I could sacrifice this person for this purpose. Oh, that person's just a homeless, he's a piece of shit anyway. Or
yeah,
they could
there was
make an excuse for themselves.
Yeah, there was a guy who, like, so many of these, there's so many philosophers who espoused ideas that were pretty much satanic in their own way, like Nietzsche. Nietzsche was probably, he inspired not just the Nazis, but also, you know, many Satanists. And that there was even a student in Britain who went out and started killing people because he had studied philosophers like that, and, you know, realized that he had this whole might is right thing, you know, that he could do what he wanted and kill whoever he wanted.
Yeah.
So it can go there. It can go there with even fairly normal and mundane things. But once you bring that whole mental, spiritual element, it can be kind of dangerous.
Same thing like the Hebrew Israelites, where they thinking they come from this mythological or like, you know what I'm saying, people and say, oh, shit, we could kill the white man. Or we could put all the other nations in chains and enslave them. One day, this motherfucker gonna fall out the sky. He gonna give his swords to kill everybody.
Crack the guy.
I might as well, start this thing up now. Set this thing up now, so I could go out and kill somebody and start the race war.
Yeah, can I just give you one example? There was a guy who he went out and he went to like a mosque. This was down in New Zealand. He started shooting people in a mosque just because he had some kind of weird internet radicalization. So it doesn't have to just be like what I'm saying. A person can get ideas in their head and decide that they're going to do something based on those ideas.
Negi, was Alistair Crowley a Satanist?
He was someone who flirted with it, but he never really went full into it.
Okay.
And by flirting with it, I mean he would allude to, because the man had a very fundamentalist Christian background. So his father was part of this really, really strict sect called the Plymouth Brethren. So he, in his mind, he had to go against some of that.
Yeah.
So that's where that comes from.
Okay.
But he wasn't a full-blown Satanist. He played it up a little. I mean, he kind of liked it when people called him that. So it was like he did it for trolling purposes.
Yeah.
Now, what Dog's Door commented on it, I know a spell check was jacking her up, but it says being a cultist isn't bad on its own. But when you start believing everything you hear without trying to think things through on your own, it is dangerous. EA has many followers that don't think. So I think that's pretty much what Negi, am I correct, Negi? That's like pretty much what you was hitting on.
That's what I'm saying. What happens is the leader of a group like that will ultimately attract people that are even less grounded in certain realities and certain things than he is. So he hates the world. He wants to find people that also hate the world. So when he finds those people, he can ultimately turn them into worse people than he is.
And what like I've spoken to Siberius about, like, he tells me all this stuff. I'm not trying to do shit. Killer B ain't doing nothing. Like, until I figure some shit out. Like, I'm like that with everything. Like, I get some new equipment or something. I'm not making nothing until I figure out how to use the whole thing fully. Before I make the first thing, when I have my music studio, I'm not doing shit until I learn what every one of these motherfucking buttons, every one of these motherfucking functions is. So when I sit down, I can do what I need to do, and I got the knowledge to do it, right? Same thing was this. I dabbled in something, right? And I saw what I could have done wrong, right? And I started noticing shit. Now, it's all in my head. It's all in my head. A lot of the shit I manifested myself through my actions, right? But what Nate's saying, like, your mind can trick you into thinking things. It can trick you, or not even trick you, set you up to do certain things because you're thinking about something. Now you're going to make a certain decision based off of that. And once again, it's all in your mind. It's not nothing walking around in the dark and shit, moving the goddamn coffee table on you or throwing your cup of coffee on the motherfucking floor. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit in your mind. So, okay, I corrected it. I corrected it in my mind. Physically, I did something, but what I did physically was basically like a tune-up on something that's in your brain. That's how I kind of look at, like, magic. Like, you know what I'm saying? I kind of look at it like, okay, you do this, like what people say a ritual or whatever. That ritual, y'all correct me if I'm wrong and shit, or whatever. You're basically tweaking your mind. It's like a program, almost like how you got certain animals. If you rub them a certain way, the motherfuckers will seize up and like look like they dead. Almost like, so I guess that's a bad example, but
yeah, I get what you're saying.
And these things can make you, it can loop your fucking brain the fuck out.
Well,
where you're thinking that all else fails and I could kill this person and things will get better. And shit can be fucked up, but the reason it's fucked up is because you fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Your mind is clouded not to see that you fucked up.
So you want to hear something?
Broke, but you know you smoking crack. You fucking 5,000, you fucking 600 motherfucking pounds and shit, and you blaming it on the spirit, but you stuffing Twinkies in your mouth every hour.
So you want to hear something? You want to hear something kind of crazy? There's a you know where the Loch Ness is?
Yeah. Yep.
It's in Scotland. There's a house that's nearby it, and Alistair Crowley went there. He lived there for a brief period, and he did this magical working there called the Abermelin working or something like that. And what it did is it ruined that place because he did it wrong. He blew it, and he kind of quit halfway through.
Yeah.
So now, like when people moved in after he moved out, people saw things in that house like ghosts. People even committed suicide in that house. Like whatever was left behind in that place, it made it just a horrible place to live.
Can I bring something up?
Oh, she goes is the Boleskine house.
Yeah, Boleskine house. Yeah, that's it. And nowadays it's barely standing. It's like a half burned down building, but the place must still be haunted because no one wants to live there.
So, I'm going to come from a different perspective, and I don't know if Killa, I don't know if you were sort of alluding to this, and again, this is the way I believe. I remember when I was in the cult I was in, and I remember specifically different times where, a group of people, we were doing things maybe we shouldn't have been doing, or and I would think, you know, maybe they were demons, and all of a sudden you would start feeling like chills, and you know, and you would think, oh my God, you know, there are demons around and things like that. You know when that went away? When I stopped believing. I never have that feeling anymore. So your brain, when you believe in certain things, and maybe that's sort of what Negi's getting at too. When you have certain thoughts, you can almost drive yourself insane in the belief. Now I hear Negi talking about ghosts. I've never seen evidence in my personal life of ghosts. I know people have their own, you know, sightings and things like that. I'm not going to discount whatever they believe, but I don't, based on what I've never seen any evidence. And I forgot what the guy, the occultist guy, Siberius or whatever he is.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Killer, when you were saying that's not a receipt that would be accepted in a court of law. Totally, like with bringing up polite. It's the same thing I was telling you about the guy that was leading my cult, you know, shaking hands with world leaders. Well, he paid those people. I'm not saying the Siberius paid anybody. I'm just saying he paid those people to make it look like he was that important, and it worked. You know, so that to say that you made a love potion, and I don't know what video he's talking about. I didn't see it, but yeah, that wouldn't fly with me because I don't know you. You could, you know, I'm not. And again, don't take this personal, Siberius. I don't know you, and you could be 100%. All this stuff could be true. You're saying, but on the surface, I don't know you. So no, I would not accept that as anything but. That could have been your friend. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I get what you're saying.
Well, that's always going to be the problem is you can't measure magic, man.
Yep. But what was this? I was going to say on here. If he comments. Oh yeah, Doff. That's what Tour Nights was like. Was the same shit. You comment on the channel, everybody jumping you. Like we was the jump out boys. We pull right up on you. Like, whoa, what? You saying what about TK? We pull right up on your channel, and it'd be like 10 motherfuckers just like jumping you. Like Negi shot me on. You know all about that shit. We used to get that shit in. Yeah. Like we used to get that shit.
I was one of the main perpetrators. Me and Trey Taylor, we would get on all them fools. We'd be like, bet. And we be like some cold ass gangsters or some bullshit.
But there was something else. Yeah. The Ouija board thing that Doff Door and Trailer Hood and stuff will talk about. I didn't get a chance to tell my Ouija board story. Now, I wasn't using the Ouija board. There was a girl, right? The girl, like, I used to mess with all the white girls. All the white girls are all witches, or their mothers were, for some weird ass reason. I don't know what it is. But this one girl that we were in the room with like two other dudes and stuff, my boys and stuff, right? And her friend, they'll mess with the Ouija board. The room doors was closed, the windows were shut. They had these thick ass black curtains over the windows, and they had a candle in the corner of the room. And they started fucking with that shit. And whoever it was that night that was talking about it, I had the same thing. It was saying shit about me that nobody else fucking knew. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, what the fuck? Right? And there was like, show us a sign or whatever. And we heard something fall in the fucking attic. Like a boom. And like, we was like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then we looked at the candle. The candle looked like it was, you know, like a little kid trying to blow out his birthday candles. And they just won't go out. Like, he don't got enough breath to blow them out. That's what the candle was doing. And like my boy Tarek and shit, he fucking passed away of overdose and shit. He was actually like royalty. Like his father was like some big time prince in like Egypt and shit. Like it was weird. They had a crazy ass family. Mom was a porn star and shit, bugged out. But his ass went to run out the goddamn room and they grabbed him. Was like, yo, you can't leave, you can't open the door and all this shit. Like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. That shit was crazy. That's some wild ass shit. I'll never forget that day, yo. So
You're like that guy in the Geico commercial in the attic. Where he's like,
well, Killer, let me interject right there, man. Just in my own defense.
Communities up in here. Yo, that's the coolest name.
Hey, and that story you just told really proves it. You know, what's one thing that I've always said is for people not to do what I do, and one thing that you know, Killer, for sure, because I've told you 100 times, is I studied the occult for 10 years before I practiced. Did I or did I not?
Yeah, that's what you said. Yep.
Yeah, I've told you that since I've known you. And I always tell people, don't do this. Don't get into the occult like that. You have to study first. Study. I legitimately studied for 10 years before I ever did anything.
Okay. So
I'm not out here preaching hate and evil and telling people to do certain things that could get them hurt or killed or in trouble.
So yeah, I don't like I said, I do, you know, I wasn't trying to attack you. I'm just saying
not you, man. Just you know, Negi coming for my throat like that. I'm here having to remind everyone because I talk a lot. I've done a lot of videos on Killer B's channel. You know, I've got a little channel myself where I've got a few videos. And if you go through my work, you'll see where I tell people these things.
So what I wanted to say to Killer was the first thing I thought about when you was like, the candle is moving is, okay, there's a draft in the house.
that could be it. But something like that, a play on your mind.
The heat,
20, 30 years later, you still remember that, and you'll make life decisions based off of that.
No, you're right. And when you believe like we did in our cults, and you believe, you know, that there are evil spirits out there, you are more susceptible to believe that wasn't just like the heat coming on and it changed the air pressure, or you know, there's a crack in the window and some wind blew, or there's a rat in the attic making some noise.
Yep.
Well,
it can easily happen like that.
Well, let me say this, you know, and Killer Bees heard me say this too. Spirit manifests in this reality, the third dimension, the physical third dimension, 99.99% of the time in nature and technology, mostly nature, I would say. So that draft is nature. That candle wick burning and the flame flickering, that is nature. That is the conduit of communication. Now, of course, you can always go back to, well, there's a draft in the house, and that's what flames do. They flicker. Okay, you got us there. But whenever you learn, or you come up with your own spiritual language, i.e., reading omens, etc., and the coincidences of the physical world begin to tell you a message through that said spiritual language that only you understand, that's when it becomes hard to disprove. But you can't prove it to anyone else because you can't measure it, and not everyone has your own same spiritual language that you speak through the omens that you see in your mundane life. And the one thing about the mundane is, whether that's, you know, sitting at your computer all day or having a huge coincidence jar full of coincidences, is that the mundane is very addictive. I've seen fantastical things, and I have to almost on a daily basis remind myself that, hey, don't forget that happens when you're in despair, or you think that the world isn't a beautiful, wonderful, magical place. Don't forget that you saw that. Okay, because a lot of people do that. Oh, you know, when you see it and you get that euphoria that Negi was talking about, and you see that maybe there's more to this world that we live in. But then a month later, you're like, well, it was rainy that day, or the wind was blowing that day, or whatever, what have you. You know, that's the struggle in reminding yourself that maybe there's something to this. And if there's not, and it's all in our head, we lived a more magical existence than you did.
Well, I'm still planning on doing ayahuasca, so not yet. You haven't yet.
And that's something
that could open up some doors for you.
And that's something right there. Doing drugs will show you this shit in your fucking mind. Like, you know what I mean? You do salvia shit. I did salvia. That shit scared the fuck out of my ass the first time I did it. I was like, yo, it fucked me up for like 2 months. Like, I didn't even want to smoke no weed. I wasn't doing shit. I was being a good little boy. But fucking that shit was crazy. I was like, what the fuck? Because the first time I did it, like it was like when people first started talking about it. It was a natural leaf and the shit didn't work. So I was like, this is some bullshit, right? And then I got that concentrate shit. I was like, man, shit. I was like, man, that shit fucked me up. Fucked my whole head up for like a month or two. Like, right? I just wasn't right. I wasn't the same motherfucker. Right? And that's something that's in your mind.
Well, and I'm not sure if it's ayahuasca but there are drugs that, and it's amazing the way they work. What from my limited understanding is like they'll allow one part of your brain to bypass everything else and go to another part of your brain, and that's why some of these dreams and things you see, and you can taste the sound, and you can smell the word or whatever. It's crazy. I mean, it really is interesting. I mean, crazy as in it's fascinating the way the mind works, and when you introduce chemicals, how your mind can do these things that you would think on a daily basis you normally wouldn't do. I mean, it really is amazing when you think about it.
And like the stuff, that's why people could listen to dreams. I guess I'm not saying like it's true. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But like when people dream about stuff and, oh, that shit, my dream was telling me this. No, it's shit that you doing in your regular motherfucking life that you know ain't right, or something that should be right or whatever. And your mind is like, okay, I need this to happen. Or you doing some shit you ain't supposed to do. Your dream is going to tell you, well, really, you ain't supposed to be doing that shit. So your mind is like, your conscience is like, or whatever, is like, all right, you ain't supposed to be doing it. So I'm going to create this dream where the scenario go down or whatever, or some shit. And people say, oh, something came to me in my dream. No, that was your old fucking mind, because you a piece of shit and you don't want to recognize that you a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? But your mind ain't gonna tell. Your mind gonna tell on you. You know what I'm saying? You might be hiding it from everybody else, but you like shit. The scripture say like fucking like your heart, like your heart. No.
Yeah, and to Siberian again, I understand what you're saying. I don't see much difference in what you're saying. In other words, the Hebrew Israelites or any other group will say the same thing. Like, well, I can't measure it. I can just feel it, or I can experience it, but I can't prove it to you. Okay. I mean, like this morning I saw, I assume through what I understand, I saw a meteor. Now, was it a chariot? I don't know, but it sure did look like a meteor to me.
I had that feeling before. I was seeing them a lot. One time I hit the corner of my street, right? Yeah. I saw this big blue ball just going sideways across the sky, like not coming down, just going directly sideways. And it had an orange tail behind it. And then it was like pulsing, and I could feel the pulse. Like it was like, boom, boom, and it like broke into pieces or some shit.
Yeah, I saw that was what I saw this morning.
What was that?
I saw that this morning. Yeah, and now I know it was a rock, right? But there's some people looking up, like some of your former cohorts, saying, "Oh, look, it's a chariot going across the sky."
It is so many times I've seen videos of Israelites. I got a video I showed that where they're like, yo, Kwame Yashala, and it's a Japanese lantern. Like somebody got married and they let the little Japanese lantern things up in the sky with the candles in them. But they do look like UFOs because they all like in unison and shit, and they like kind of make different formations and stuff. And people say like, know what I mean? That shit crazy. Yeah, but a lot of this stuff is bugged the fuck out. A lot of this stuff is bugged out.
When people going to what you're talking about, talking about the chariots and things, I always wondered, like, do they really think like it's almost like the whoever wrote the Bible were like Amish, like they're gonna come on chariots? Wouldn't they come in like a rocket ship or something more advanced? It's gonna be a chariot, like they're stuck in the Amish, like the Amish.
And I even showed it was the oldest synagogue in existence, and on the floor of the synagogue, guess what they got? A white man on a chariot with a bunch of horses and shit with the zodiac thing going around it. But they'll say, "Oh, Judaism doesn't believe in all that shit and whatnot." But it was what's the name of the god? Negi, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's a god on a chariot. It makes the Metatron cube. They say it's part like the Metatron cube thing and everything too. But like I use that to Hebrew Israelites. I'm like, look, this is the oldest synagogue, and they got the white people right up in that motherfucker. So go ahead with that bullshit.
The Merkaba. The Merkaba is what it's called. That's that vehicle.
But it was a deity. It was like some kind of like god. What was it? I'm trying to think of the name of the god. That he come out of chariot. It was almost like some damn Revelation shit. It was like
I know who that is. That's Apollo.
No, it wasn't Apollo. It was something else. But he probably like a counterpart or like the same thing as Apollo. But they just gave him a different name. I can't think of the name of the
Saturn.
Nope. But I think that tied in with the shit too. I'm trying to think of the name of the motherfucking deity. I can't think of it.
Helios?
Helios. That's it. You got it. That's it. Helios.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning more and more about Negi being the resident genius, man. He's a book of knowledge or a walking library. Huh?
See, EA has a book on drug use during the ritual called the Herbarium.
Herbarium Diabolicum, the poison path. Yeah.
Too damn early to be reading them words.
Yeah, right. And people would take that shit. You know how many people would want to buy that motherfucking book? And give them an excuse. This is what they you talking about. It would give people an excuse to do drugs.
Yeah.
Bobby Hemmett, a black occultist and stuff. I love Bobby Hemmett videos. I know Bill Hill do too, right? That motherfucker was talking about motherfuckers should do crack to get close to the motherfucking spirits. I was like, yo, what the fuck? He said, yeah, back in the 80s and shit, everybody was doing it. He was in the parties and shit. We had crack rocks, dancing with crack rocks in our mouth. I was like, yo,
Killer, the mind is an amazing, it really is. And when you start mixing in, I have no doubt, because let me tell you, I went to, this is my story of, and maybe Siberium, will say this is some of the proof, but I was trying to date a girl, and she went to her mom was Pentecostal, and down here in New Orleans, so we went to her, I want to say it was her aunt's house, and there was this guy, man. I know he must have played some football, because her son was actually a football player for Green Bay, but this was like, I don't know if this is a son's friend. Anyway, he wanted to be saved, right?
Yeah.
And I was in a cult, so I hadn't, I knew like I mean, at least in my cult, I don't know about the cult you were in, but they believe speaking in tongues was delving into like demons, right? Like opening up yourself to like demons and stuff like that. So we were in circle, and so I'm trying to impress this girl. So I'm like, okay, I'll hold everybody's hand, get in this circle. I'll close my eyes, but I'm not gonna pray, And they start doing this pray, they start praying, and some of them start speaking in tongues, and this big dude, man, he starts jumping up and down. He breaks the table as he falls on it. I guess what they call getting filled with the Holy Spirit. You know what I mean? And dude, I ain't gonna lie, I got dizzy and warm, and I had to sit down.
It's crazy. It's like a lot of the shit, like say with the voodoo community, the Santeria, and all that shit, where the motherfuckers, the Lord, the spirits are riding and stuff. I'm like, I don't know about all this shit. And like, I want to do a video, another Apollo video. I want to show the foundations of it, like when it was organized, because they say, you got to have a lineage. There's only certain lines and stuff, and you got to be part of these lines and really say that you really practice this and all this stuff. I want to get into who were some of the people in these lines and what were they doing actually to the people, because there's people that, like Negi talks about the spiritualism thing, right? When had the motherfuckers, well, you got the what is this, Alan Kardec or something, and then you had the thing with the two girls, say that was bullshitting everybody, acting like they was demon possessed or whatever the fuck, right? And it come out to be fake, but you got motherfuckers still practicing that shit.
Yeah, they heard noises they were making with their toes, so they were like click clack, and they would say, "Oh, the ghost responded." Then they would make more noises.
Yeah, this shit crazy. But there's a lot of people out there. I'm not saying that there's not people that have I don't even want to say that shit, like a spiritual thing. Well, you can, I guess, but once again, I say it like it's in your mind. But and you can make your mind think, create things and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit. How many times y'all smoked some weed and drew some shit or thought of some shit or whatever? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. Like getting to the bottom of stuff. Like that's why I say everybody should just like do their own thing. That's like on my channel. I'm not trying to convince nobody of shit. Like I'll do some history stuff, like with the Apollo shit. I'm more into the history and just the information, like how it works. I'm not telling nobody to go try to fuck with that shit. Or I'm not like the Hebrew Israelite thing. I'm not teaching nobody that shit. Or what I do now. I would never teach nobody what I do. Or wanna or just say this is the way to go. Not say teach, but saying this is the way to go. This is the path. Cause shit, I spent 22 years in a motherfucking cult. I thought that shit I was Trump tight on that. Like I'm taking that bitch to the grave. Know what I'm saying? And then come find out it's some bullshit. Completely bullshit. But the whole time I'm in it, I'm feeling like I'm really part of this. I'm really connected to this.
Yeah. I think it's all part of the group mentality. You feel more secure when you have people that have like beliefs, and so I think it's all I think it's normal, really. It's normal for humans to seek that kind of group, because we're in this society, we're all, trying to be individual and not rely on anybody. And I don't think that's how humans, I mean, I know that's not how our species functioned from the majority of the time. Our species, you had to depend on one another to survive. So I think when we get into groups like that, and especially it plays into the us versus them, you know what I mean?
And like, Oh, my bad. My bad.
No. I was just gonna say, and so that's what's so common about any cult or any group is it's us versus them, and you tend to stick with the us.
Yeah. Yep.
Go ahead.
Shit, almost lost my thought here. Goddamn, I gotta get back. I got fucking that. I'm like a goddamn goldfish.
While you're
fucking,
let me go on. So my whole point was that, when you are open to believing in other things, your mind will play into that. So today, do I believe that I was feeling some kind of spirits? No, I don't. But at the time, I believed in those type of things. So, I just think my brain was overwhelmed with what was going on, is what I believe today. You know what I mean? But at the time, you couldn't have told me different. I mean, I said, well, shit, I was going against it. Like, I wasn't going to pray. I wasn't going to speak tongues. And all of a sudden, I had no control. I started feeling dizzy and hot. What the hell? You know what I mean?
And I be thinking sometimes these motherfuckers might be drugging you when you go into these places. Like, know what I'm saying? Yeah. They might give you something to drink or shit. They might blow something in your face or something, like, know what I mean? You be under the influence of something and not even know it. And you feeling kind of weird and you thinking it's the spirits or some bullshit. Yup, that's that. I be fucking cautious and shit like that. You never know. You'll see somebody, they give you some shit. Next thing you ask, no, you on the sacrifice table. Know what I'm saying? Like, for real. For real. Next thing you know, you on the motherfucking sacrifice table. Looking crazy. Yup. But like, it's like, shit, I still lost my thought. I still didn't get it back.
That's all right, man.
But I'm some of these subscribers. By the way, I got to do my goddamn supporters list and shit. Can't forget that, right? So we got Brainstorm Homeschool Academy. We got Sister P. Got Negi Springfield, Josh, Siberius, the Sleeping Serpent. We got Bill Hill. We got Victor Always. We got Yasu. We got San Miguel TV. And we got our newest Sahara Jr. Yep. So we got that out the way. So
but it's funny you were talking about Polite and the police thing. And the more I realize is the more, he's done well for himself, but he's on small scale when you think about, like you were saying earlier, where you see the mega church preacher that gets people's they fill out cards and their ailments, and then his wife is through an earpiece is telling them, yeah, Sandra, she has a cancer of the kidneys or something, and then he's like, I feel Sandra, something's going on with your kidneys. And
they fall out on the floor. Oh Lord Jesus! Lord Jesus!
It's funny, but at the same time, it's so sad because these people are believing that they're going to be healed.
There's some of the supporters of that Jamaican dude. That's the Jamaican dude that was doing the human sacrifice in his church. He still has supporters, people that are backing him, saying, I can't turn my back on this man because I was sick and this man healed me.
Right. Yeah.
That's crazy. So you should volunteer. Why the motherfuckers ain't volunteer to get their throat cut?
No, how about the goat man? This guy's gig down. Was it in Brazil or whatever, where he said this Holy Spirit came through his semen?
Yeah.
He was. Oh man, it's funny, but it's not funny. I'm like, God, he actually tricked women. I'm like, that's game, man.
Yep.
But yeah.
Oh, become a living God. That motherfucker's a trip. It's crazy too, like how the motherfuckers make things that have things like that, and then you look at them and shit, and you be like, "Well, goddamn, motherfucker, if this, maybe I don't want to be a living God. If this is what it is." Because like, motherfucker, you looking crazy right now. Like, know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. and I don't know what you've never really, as far as I've watched you, I believe in observing you. You do pretty much just put whatever you in your mind's out there. You don't try to convert anybody one way or the other.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, and that's pretty good that I can say I'm not sure I know exactly what your beliefs or non-beliefs are. So I think that's pretty legit. But for me, it's amazing when you are what I feel like, and it took a process for me. Okay, I mean, I didn't just suddenly wake up and leave the cult and then say, okay, I don't believe at all. It took a process, because you're talking about someone like yourself who believed that he was going to be ruling one day over mankind.
Yeah.
He was going to be like a god. And I mean, imagine believing that for all those years, where your imagination can take you, like dreaming about those days, right? So it wasn't like an overnight thing. It was a process. But when your mind is what I consider to be free, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but it really lifts the veil off, and the ridiculousness of not just of all, and not everything about it is ridiculous, but just some of the things that are so ridiculous that you're like, you really can't see that doesn't make a lot of sense. Or, like I like making jokes about, why use nature, like with Siberius, well, why use nature? Why just cut the middleman out, man, up here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why you got to use wind?
Yeah, I feel you on that. Yep.
I mean, so not just that. I'm just saying in general, or like the chariots. I think, well, that's really ridiculous. Why would they come in chariots? I mean,
and like the off was talking the other night, and she was saying like how, like, I guess she came in, if I'm getting this right, if I remember right, she said like she would ask questions like the Christians and stuff, and they were good ass motherfucking questions, and she couldn't get no motherfucking answer. The motherfuckers stuck on stupid, and it'll make them, and they were rejected. Like they used to say in the cult, "Oh, you got a demon on you." No, motherfucker, right. I got a good question on me, motherfucker. I got a good question that your ass can't answer. Like, know what I'm saying? So it'll make them, and they don't want the whole church to fall apart over the goddamn question. And it'll really, they don't give a fuck the church falling apart. They give a fuck about that money falling apart.
Yeah. And the whole, oh, well, God works in mysterious ways is always a good one,
Yep. Or the members, you ask the members, they're gonna go to the that higher ups because they don't have the answer, and then they're gonna get rebuked for asking the fucking question. Why you over here messing with fools anyway? Is he with God, or do he believe in Christ or whatever? Stay away from that nigga. Like, know what I'm saying?
Or what was that Hebrew? What was that scripture the Hebrew Israelites use? Only a fool say there is no God, or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. And then there was another one too. I can't think of it. I be trying to forget all that shit.
Or if you want to bring it to the conscious community, I always find this pretty amusing when I'm watching, and then like one of the guys will bring up something. Oh, well, you're using the white man science, or
yep. or don't answer a fool according to his folly.
Oh yeah, that's another. But what about those conscious? Oh, that's the white man science.
Yeah, but they want to use it when it's beneficial for them. They'll pull some science shit quick.
And to me, science is a collection of mankind throughout history. I mean, I mean, we. So to say stuff, I always think that's always a catch-all when you're getting beat on something, though.
Yeah.
Oh, the white man's book, or the white. Oh, that was like, okay.
King James was black. Then we got all these goddamn patents of King James being white and shit, but they still trying to convince us and showing us that one fucking shitty photocopied photo and shit of King James, trying to say he black.
Yeah, and then the whole, well, he was homosexual. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, motherfuckers, so the homosexual shit. They turn everybody into the homosexual. They turn everybody they can into a homosexual and shit.
It's really very interesting, man. Very interesting. All these different beliefs, and I don't know, but I like listening to it all, because I think within every I'll even, like I said, I still to this day will watch ISUPK do their live show, because if you throw out a lot of the stuff that I consider to be nonsense, there are some good points in there too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is. And that's the cheese on the track. They'll give you maybe some statistics or something like that. That tie in with what they're saying, though. You know what I mean? They only tie in with what they're saying, and that's the cheese on the track. Get you interested. Like I said the other night, there's a lot of people that would never join the cult, would never say they believe in it, but they'll take some of their doctrine and use that shit in their life. Like they say, "Oh, Jesus was black," right? So,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? You might find a black dude on Wall Street, ain't got no care of joining no goddamn Hebrew Israelites or even believing in God or whatever, right? But that motherfucker tell you, no, Jesus was black.
Dude, you know who?
And when you ask him where he got that shit from,
you know who I heard talk? I think I saw it on YouTube, but who is on that track? Like you're saying, I'm not sure if he's in any group, but I hear him is Damon Wilson. You know who that is?
Nah, I never heard of him.
No, that's Lamont from Sanford and Son.
Oh, Lamont. The dude from Sanford and Son?
Yeah, I heard him on some radio show talking about, and he was spewing off some of that whole like you say, you know.
Don't let me find that motherfucker. I'm gonna be trolling. I'm gonna drag the shit out of his ass. You big dummy.
Yeah, he was like, big dummy. He was talking about, you know, being chosen and where they're from. You know, he was on. I was waiting to hear. You know, I don't know if he ever really said it, but he was along those lines of, he was basically on that doctrine. You know, yeah, like you said, whether he's a Hebrew Israelite or he's just someone who's heard the stuff and, you know, uses that, but maybe doesn't believe in everything. You know, I don't know.
Oh, I'm about to look his ass up now on that shit. But I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta get ready so I go to school and stuff. I'll go to school and whatnot. But thanks for everybody dropping by. Thanks, Negi, Siberius, for coming on here. We got to do this again. I would like a formal.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'll do it again. Yeah.
Would you be interested in doing like a formal debate? We got to like hash it out and make everything worded right and stuff. I don't want it to be like no SPDL shit.
Well, yeah. The thing is, if I'm going to do a debate, it's going to be better than SVDO, but also I'm going to bring more information than I did this time.
Right. I hear you.
So I'm gonna prove that there's different groups out there that teach that whole thing that, you know, gods aren't real. I'm gonna just bring it all out, you know.
Yep.
Bring it out.
Bring it out. That's right.
Yeah.
So like Siberius, you down for that too? So we get like a little formal debate. We get the topic. You know, say this might be the start of the Killer Bee Wishfinder General Debate League. Get burned up by the Killer Bee Debate League.
That'd be super interesting. We got to get this going. Let's go.
Yep. Yeah, we got Daf Dora there. Like she said some good stuff. Like this is good stuff. I'm glad she found my channel.
That's really her?
Huh? Yeah.
I thought she was trolling us with that picture.
That's her.
I'm just playing, man.
So
she's a very nice looking lady.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, very nice looking lady. And gotta thank everybody that was watching. Brainstorm Homeschool Academy, the Off Door, Negi Springfield. We got Bill Hill up in motherfucker. Ambrose Shabiam and shit taking up space on the platform. The Paz Funky Pass Around Snatch. We got these motherfuckers is crazy with these names. Special Agent Mac Montana and shit. Big O was up in here. Who else? Who else? There's somebody else that was up in here. One community. Yo, that's the hell of y'all. I would have steal that name so bad, yo. Shit. I might have to pay that motherfucker for that name and shit. The name and logo and shit is dope. One community. That shit funny as hell, yo. That shit, I be laughing all day about that shit. Who else? Somebody else is up in this motherfucker. All right, if I forgot your ass, I just forgot your ass. Blockwork. Negi Special Needs Springfield. It is I, the enemy. What? Oh, I already like. What's funny? Like some of these motherfuckers come under here as different like people, and they're so easy to know like who the fuck they are. Because like, they type the way they type and things that they say. Weird ass niggas. It's weird around. Weird ass motherfucker. And yeah, we do some more videos. We get some more videos popping and shit. We had like what up to I think 11, 12 people up in here at the most. But yeah, this is cool. But I gotta get the fuck out of here and shit.
All right, man.
All right, yo. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. Killer Beauty Witchfinder General. Like, share, and subscribe. Goddamn it. Peace.